how are you? I miss you so much. I cannot wait until we're back at church together. But until then, this video will have to do. And I am really excited to be able to share with you the story of Jesus' resurrection. It is such a wonderful and special story. And so I brought a special guest with me today. Hi guys, my daughter Ainsley. She's going to help me tell the story. But first, I wanted to show you something. Take a look at this penny we found. Can you hold that up close, Ainsley? Look at all that dirt on there. It's not a very clean penny, is it? No, it's really dirty. Well, I made up this special solution of salt and vinegar, and we're going to put the penny in there. I'm going to let it sit, and while I'm talking to you, it's going to sit in there. And when we're all done, we're going to take a look at it and see what happens. So watch to the end of the video so you can see what happens to our penny. But let's get back to the important story I wanted to tell you. I want to tell you about Jesus' resurrection. And today I'm going to be using Easter eggs to tell this story. So we're going to start with the first egg, and there's 12 eggs that are helping to tell our story. So Ainsley, open the first egg and tell us what's in there.
It's a donkey. Hello.
Oh, there's donkey. This donkey represents Jesus entering Jerusalem. He rode on a donkey in Jerusalem, and people celebrated this. They even put palm leaves down on the road for him. And this is what's called...
even their jackets. And they got palm leaves and did this.
And this is what we call Palm Sunday, when Jesus rode into Jerusalem. You can read more about this in Matthew 21, verses 1 through 9. Let's see what's in the second egg. Oh, I wonder what that is.
It's money.
Silver coins. These represent the coins that Judas, who is one of Jesus' disciples, was given in order to help get Jesus arrested. So Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 silver coins. This story is also in Matthew. You can find that in Matthew 26. Let's see what's in egg number 3. What could it be? It's a picture. It's a picture of a cup and bread. This represents the Last Supper. This is when Jesus gathered his disciples for the Last Supper. The cup, the wine, represented his blood, and the bread represented his body. And we still celebrate this today by having what we call communion. What's in egg number 4?
Something.
Praying hands. These praying hands represent when Jesus went to pray in the garden after the Last Supper. Jesus went there to pray, but Judas led the soldiers there, and this is where Jesus was arrested. What about egg number 5?
Any guesses?
A leather strap. This is a really sad part of the story. When Jesus was arrested, the soldiers were really mean to him, and he was hit many times with a leather strap, and he had a lot of owies on his body. We know Jesus didn't do anything wrong, but they didn't know that. They arrested him anyway and hurt him very badly. Let's see what number 6 has to show us. A crown of thorns. The soldiers not only hurt Jesus, but they made fun of Jesus. Jesus was known as the King of the Jews, so they made him a crown. But this one was not a very nice crown. It was a crown made out of thorns. And can you imagine how much that must have hurt his head? Plus, they were making fun of him.
Yeah, and God wouldn't be really very happy.
But this was all part of God's plan, right?
Yep.
So let's see what happens in number 7. What could be in there?
Come on.
Take it out. This is a nail. This represents the next part of Jesus' journey. This is when Jesus was nailed to the cross through his hands and his feet. This is called crucifixion. Now, we know Jesus is really powerful because he's God. He could have gotten off that cross, but Jesus said, I will let them hurt me. I will not stop them and I will not get down. That's because Jesus knew this was part of God's plan. So let's see what happens in the rest of our story. On to egg number 8. Oh, that's a loud one. What is it?
A dice.
A dice. The dice represents when the soldiers took Jesus' clothing and they were gambling or rolling dice to see who would get his clothing. So now the soldiers have hurt Jesus and gave him owies. They have put a crown on him and made fun of him. They nailed him to the cross to crucify him. And they now were gambling to see who got his clothing. They weren't very nice to Jesus. Let's see what happens next. There's something sticking out of that one. Let's open that up.
Yeah. Ready and...
It's a spear. In John 19, verses 31 through 37, we can read about this part of the story. This is where the soldiers pierced the side of Jesus to see if he was dead, because Jesus died on the cross. So Jesus was gone, and his friends couldn't see him, and his friends couldn't walk with him. And they had to say goodbye to him. They were really sad, and they missed Jesus. Let's see what egg number 10 shows us. That's a quiet one.
Yeah.
In egg number 10, we have a cloth. Jesus was covered in a cloth and spices and buried in a tomb. Now, it's not like the tombs today. It was almost like a cave, and a huge stone was rolled in front of that cave, so nobody could go in or out. Let's go on to egg number 11. Oh, what's in there? A stone.
Oh.
So you know how I said a huge stone was rolled in front of the grave? Well, when Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Jesus, returned to the tomb, the huge stone was rolled away. Who could have done that? Who could have moved this huge stone? They were surprised and scared. But this is the best part of the story. This is the happy ending. So when they went into the tomb, guess what? Open up egg number 12. The tomb was empty. Jesus was alive. So Jesus had died, but now he's alive. His friends were so excited that he came back. They walked with Jesus. They talked with Jesus. Jesus is back and he's alive again. Now his friends were so happy, and I'm happy too. So that's the story of Jesus' resurrection. But let's see what happened to our penny. Remember, we put it in this solution? Let's take it out and see what happens. You want to hold it up, Ainsley, and show them? The penny is now nice and clean. This penny demonstrates sin in our life. We are like the dirty penny. We were sin-filled. But when we accept Jesus, we can become clean and made anew, just like the penny. And that's all because Jesus died on the cross for us, for me and Ainsley, and for all of you watching. I'm so glad you could join us today. It was so nice to be able to share this story with you. So let's bow our heads and say a prayer together, shall we? Dear God, thank you for Jesus. Thank you for Jesus dying on the cross. Thank you for Jesus and his resurrection and coming back to life. Please bless these children and watch over them as they grow and help them to know you, God, so they too can become clean, just like our Penny, and be washed of their sin. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, and I hope you guys have such a happy, wonderful Easter, and I can't wait to see you.
Bye.
Bye.